All right, we should be live. Let's see. I'm trying to get into my. Let's see. Do we see me live? Do we see me live? Is that me? Nope, that was the last one. Hang on. It takes me a second. Let me just look here. Nope. Hold on. Oh, why does it take me so long to do this? I just don't know. Oh, there I am. I'm live. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Share this to the group. And we are live. All right. Personal brand mastery. Today is a good one. I'm going to switch to my Facebook. Otherwise, I get all confused. Here we go. All right. Personal brand mastery. Today is a really, 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 really good one because I think it's the one thing that we all need to be focused on. There are a million and one things that we could be doing in our business on any given day. And we choose all the rest instead of the one thing that is going to move our business along. And I don't know if you saw my reel this morning, but I talked about the one thing being consistency. And consistency is in getting your message out and getting your personal brand built. It's putting out your message every day or every week, or I vote on every day, but every week, whatever you can, commit to. So, as you know, I've committed to doing this every single week. And I don't know how long we've been doing it, but pretty good amount of time. Not always on time and looking good, but we're here every single time. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you are watching this live, if you are watching this, if you're watching this live, or if you are watching this from the replay. I'd love to hear. Let's see. So I'm just gonna open it up. Oh no, I moved it. Shoot. I just wanted to open it so I could see the comments, but I'm so crazy with this. You'd think that I do it every day. All right, personal brand mastery, 6 steps to creating a legacy that lasts. So this is what I hear, sometimes I don't need a legacy that lasts, maybe you're like, my kids are going to build their own life. I'm going to use all my money till I die. That's okay. Don't worry about it. If that's not, the thing for you, don't worry about it. What you want to consider is, is it something that you want to last because of the impact that you've made on others? It doesn't necessarily have to be the profit from your business that goes to your kids. It could, or the business that goes to your kids. It could also be the impact that you have had. And I know that every single one of you is interested in making an impact in somebody's life. So if you can think of, if you are a fitness coach, for example, and your client is somebody who you help get in shape physically, mentally, they're ready to rock and roll. What kind of an impact is that going to have on their life, on the life of their spouse, their parents, their brother, their sister, their kids, their jobs, their income, everything? It is a snowball effect. Doesn't matter where you're at in coaching. I promise you that the thing that you're focusing on is going to have an impact, not just on that person, but on lots and lots of people. On lots and lots of people, one after the other. So you really want to make sure that you're building something that not only affects the people in your immediate vicinity, just your clients, but also has a long-lasting effect. So that's what we talk about when we talk about legacy. So if you're like, oh, I don't need to have so much money, that no, it doesn't have to be the profit from your business or even your business. It has to be the impact that you're making. So tell me below if you are interested in making an impact. An impact. If impact is what you're after, I want to hear it. I'm going to, I'm like a crazy person with this, but I want to just make sure it's in my group. Bum, 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 let's see. I know those of you that know me, thank you for your patience with my crazy. It is here. Awesome. I'm just going to add everybody real quick. All right, there we go. Some people can see it now or later. If you're here on the replay, #replay. All right, diving in. Get your pen and paper ready. We get some cheese going on. So solo entrepreneurs who effectively use personal branding strategies can experience up to a 200% increase, 200% increase in their potential revenue, primarily through enhanced online visibility and credibility. So the more you put yourself out there, the more you're also building your credibility. People want to buy from people. People feel that you're more credible the more that they actually see you, right? If you're just writing stuff out there, they don't know if that's AI, if it's you, if you're making it up. If they can ask you a question and you can answer it, right? That's pretty credible. So you want to be able to put yourself out there. You want to be able to show up doing your thing as often as possible and making it happen. So 200% is huge. All right. Why personal? I want to go back. Why personal branding matters. So I think a lot of you think that it doesn't matter that much. Well, I have a couple of clients. I hear this all the time. I have a couple of clients, or I build my brand on reputation. Reputation is personal branding. So referral marketing obviously is your number one way to get people to your world. If somebody else refers you, you've already got, built in know, like, and trust. So that is absolutely the number one way. But if you rely on when your client happens to be in a conversation that is relevant to this with somebody that's open to the idea, blah, 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 it's going to be a long road. So 100% you do want that, but you also want your brand to speak for itself. And so how do we do that? Why is it important? Crowded market. We always talk about going right from here. You're in that sea of sameness. First question everybody asks, how do I stand out? There are so many people that do what I do. This is it. This is how. You're in that sea of sameness and we want to pop you out. And I say, my little hand is gordito still. I say we want to get you to here. You can go to here if you want, but right to here is plenty enough. And that is still in building your personal brand and your thought leadership. Your thought leadership is that step above where now you're attracting people. People are coming to you, asking for you. All right, enhanced online presence. Yes, we want the people coming to us. We want people seeing our posts, engaging, asking questions, jumping in our DMs. Trust and liability. Your personal brand builds trust and liability. What's the very first thing that you do whenever you see anybody? You Google them. What comes up? Google yourself. What comes up? If, a bunch of other people with your name come up, that's not what you want. If you come up, but talking about, what you did last Saturday or pictures at a party, that's not necessarily building trust and credibility. You want to take control over your personal brand. You want to be controlling what people see about you. And I'm not saying, trying to fake what people see about you. I want you to be posting real things about you. But if every time somebody jumps on, they see that I've done, elevate and engage, every time they jump on, they're like, oh my God, she's got a new show out. Awesome. I'm in. That builds that trust and credibility. Same week or every week, same time. Always elevate and engage. So that builds that trust and credibility. Oh my God, I just thought of something so good. I need to put a background for my elevate and engage. If you are out there, I would love to do that. All right. So command higher fees and salaries. Yes, you can charge more. When people believe in you, you're not selling, right? That's not what it's all about. Most of us are not hardcore salespeople where we're just like, oh, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. That's not who we are. We want people to want to work with us. We want people to be able to see our stuff and know, wow, she really knows what she's talking about. And this is what I need to have happen in my business. I want people who are thinking to themselves, example, coaches, you're thinking in your head, I really want to get my message out to more people. I know kind of what I'm doing and what I'm all about, but nobody's really listening to me. Why is that? Right? Maybe that's a scenario. And you're like, Erica can totally help me with that. Erica can get me from A to B. And I've been listening to her for so long, I actually realized that she can get me from A to Z. So definitely that's the person I want. That's what you want people thinking about you. So when you can do that, you can command higher fees and salaries if you don't want salaries, but higher fees. I don't know why I left salaries. And long-term business growth. Long-term business growth, legacy. Dun, 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 right? That's that legacy that we're talking about. We want you to be able to, I'm playing with my hand, sorry. We want you to be able to create legacy and thought leadership. Why? The more impact you make, the more people you're helping. And through your personal brand, you're putting out content that's helping people all the time. Somebody could see one of my Elevate and Engage shows and get a lot out of it, take some action from it, and have something happen in their business. And that's what I want. That's what you want. You want to be putting that stuff out there so they can too. And it's reels, it's blog style posts, it's lives, whatever it is, have a variety, carousels, whatever it is, have a variety, get them all out there. But you want to be making an impact by helping people as much as humanly possible. And there's only one of you. So personal branding is going to be your secret weapon. All right, L, we're on our first letter. Write it down. L. Do you know what it is yet? If you do, I want to hear it below. If you know what it is, chat it below. L is lay the foundation. So my co-coach in my other business, Achieve Goals Now, if you're not in there, get in it. Mike Harrison, he is building a new house. And you cannot just start putting up walls. You have to have a real foundation. And that means from the ground up. Walls might be part of your foundation, but you can't start there, right? You have to start at the bottom, lay the foundation. And that's the same thing with our business. Same thing. So I believe that the very most important part of your business is when you lay that foundation. And if you can lay a strong foundation, if you lay that foundation as strong as humanly possible, you're going to be able to build on that. Those of you that know me know that I have a small language school and I used to teach English. I have teachers that do it, but I used to teach English in the language school. And what I always tell the teachers, and back in the day told the students, is you have to build your strong foundation. But once you have that basic foundation of the language, the rest comes really, really fast. Once you start speaking and once you start putting yourself out there, the language comes really fast. If you're trying to learn a second language, drop it below second language. I want to hear those of you that are learning a second language. I believe that learning a second language is an amazing way to step out of your comfort zone Having to speak in a second language is really outside of most people's comfort zone. So if you're looking for ways to get out of your comfort zone, that's a great way to do it. But anyway, build the foundation when you're doing it. Build the foundation. So your business as well. And in building the foundation, I'm talking about what? Your personal brand, who you are, who you speak to, how you can help them. Those are the most important parts. What's your message? What do you want them to know? How are you going to help them do it? Get from that A to B. So how am I going to help you get from an unknown expert to a well-known, well sought after what? I'm crazy. I'm losing my word here. Expert to thought leader. Wow, that was crazy, right? How am I going to help you get from that unknown expert to that thought leader is through your personal brand, through putting out that content that tells people who you are and what you're all about. And there are a lot of different ways to do that, but the very beginning is laying the foundation. So L, lay the foundation. Going on to the next one. Oh, not yet. It's not yet. All right. So lay the foundation. What do you want to do in that stage of the game when you're building your personal brand? Core values. I put that on the left. Core values and vision. You want to know where you're going, right? If you jump in the car and you have no idea where you're going, you're not going to be able to get there. So when we talk about our core values, you want to know what your own values are, what your company values are. Has anybody ever seen my magic company values? So magic is my acronym for my company values. It's what I give to anybody that I onboard in my business, and it's called magic. Anyway, your core values and your company's core values. You want people to understand who you are and what you're all about. So if you think of a company like Patagonia, I know I always talk about it, but it's my favorite example because they make it so clear. They're all about that sustainability. Their people will buy from them because they know that they are for the environment and the sustainability. And that is really important to them and to their audience. And they make that clear. And their prices have nothing to do with why people buy from them. They're not going for the cheapest price, right? So core value and your vision, how are you going to get there? So if you talk about what I want to do, you've probably heard me talk about it a million times. I want to help you build your thought leadership so that you get people coming to you, right? The more people you get coming to you, the more impact you're going to make. If I can help you make a bigger impact, you know, when you throw a stone, like you throw a stone in the lake and it like that ripple effect goes out and out and out and out and out. That's what I want. Because if I can make an impact on you, you are going to make an impact on thousands, hundreds. Give me a number. How many people do you want to make an impact on in your lifetime? How many people do you want to have an impact on? And depending on how you look at it, right? It could be millions. Why? Because if you impact one person's life, how many lives does that impact? That ripple effect can go on and on and on and on and on. You know, like the what is that actor? Like the 7 Steps. Kevin Costner? No. Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon. Like you're always like 6 steps or 7 steps from Kevin Bacon. That's kind of this ripple effect, because if you make an impact on one person's life, then like I sort of alluded to at the beginning, if you're a relationship coach, right? And you can help this person have a better relationship with their spouse. That's what you're all about, or a better relationship with themselves. That could be what you're after. Whatever that is, let's go with themselves. If you can help somebody have a better relationship with themselves, how many people is that going to affect? Everyone they're around in their day-to-day life, right? That's spouses, mother, father, cousins, brothers, sisters, kids, friends, even, right? Because if you're affecting your kids' friends, that's that ripple effect. So that could go on and on and on. Anyway, core values, so important. And your vision, equally important. What is the one on the left? Who can guess it? Who can guess it? Your unique strengths, your unique strengths. What make you amazing? So I know some of my unique strengths are my positivity, my energy. I can engage people because they are gravitating towards me because of who I am personality wise. But what are some other strengths of mine? I want genuinely the best for people, and they feel that. They feel that. And another strength of mine is I'm going to go with the value, but curiosity, because I love business and I love marketing and I love personal branding and I love content marketing. I geek out on it. And I spend hours and hours and hours studying it, learning it, living it. And the reason that I do that is because it's fun to me. I geek out on it. How does that now become one of my strengths? Because I've got all that knowledge that I can now impart on you and help my clients. So that becomes one of my, so that geekiness that might annoy people around me, right? You know, they say, what is the one thing that you can talk about for 30 minutes? Well, if you ever go to a party of people, a party filled with people who are not entrepreneurs, and you start talking about your passion in your business, you might have people going, blah, 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 blah. It's annoying, right? It can get annoying. So when I talk to people about what I do, number one, they're like, what? Why would you do that? You know, like, why? What? You know, a lot of them don't even get, which I believe everybody should have a personal brand. Just so you know, if you're listening out there and you're like, I do not have a business and don't need this, you do. Everyone should have a personal brand. High schoolers should have personal brands. Anyway, it's important. It's powerful. It's important. And what are your unique strengths? So my geekiness and my passion are one of them, and yours probably is too. All right, second one, E. So we've got the L, we've got the E. Who knows what it is? Drop it below. If you know what it is, drop it below. All right, E, establish your voice. So I was talking about this yesterday with some of my clients, and one of the things to establish your voice is to get your voice out there. And I know that that sounds crazy. And I know a lot of people are like, I need to have my voice established before I can go out there. And the fact of the matter is you are wrong on so many levels. And I can give you instances that I'm talking about, but I can think of at least two of my clients who have totally changed what they're doing because they started getting their voice out there. Once you start getting your voice out there, you realize that it is, you know, so strong, or it's strong, but you're not loving it. Or it's strong, but your audience isn't loving it. So any one of those might be what might sway your voice, right? And it starts changing over time. And it may be, you know, subconsciously you're getting feedback and your voice starts changing over time. And in a year from now, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, my voice is way over here and it used to be way over here. That's okay, because you're going in the direction that you want to go because you're taking action. If you start deciding what your voice is and then redeciding and redeciding and redeciding because you're not taking action, it's pointless. I promise you that is so pointless. So what you want to do is decide what that voice is, but then start putting it out there. And your voice is you, your message, what you want to talk about, your passion, you know, that 30-minute, what can you talk about all day long? That's your voice. What do you want people to know? I want you to know your message, your personal brand is important. And it's so important if you own a business, right? It's the thing that's going to distinguish you. It's the thing that's going to set you apart from everybody else. And it's the thing that's going to move you from that unknown expert to a thought leader. And you're going to do that through your personal brand and your organic content. Yes. So establish your voice. I love my little cheesy pictures for you. So can this one is, have you ever seen, I was looking for this thing and this is what this reminded me of. If this isn't that, then just don't tell me. Let me be happy thinking this is what that is. But have you have you ever seen those things on somebody's desk where you like pop the ball up and it goes ding, 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 ding. It has like that chain effect. All right. Well, what I was looking for was consistency. And I talked about this. I did some reels earlier today. I talk about this a lot. Consistency to me is the hardest thing in your business, in my business, and everybody in your life, and anything that you're trying to do. The most important and the hardest, the most difficult, right? So consistency. How can you get how can you be more consistent? So start thinking of some ways you can do it. One of the things that I was talking about earlier is I have a list of activities that my clients take on a daily basis. And the more thought process you can take out of the things that you need to do, the more you're actually going to do them. You know, you think about the guys that wear the same uniforms every day, which I kind of do, wear the same uniform every day because they don't want to have to think about it, right? Those mindless actions. If you can create a lot of those mindless actions, routine actions that you take in your business, you are going to get consistent without even realizing it because you're doing it over and over and over and over and over. All right. So establish your voice. Consistency in your voice matters. Saying it over and over and over. And I just said, you know, you're going to put yourself out there and then it might change. That's okay. Some people will tell you it's not. I disagree wholeheartedly. I do not think that it's possible to really find out who you are, what you're all about until you get your voice out there. And remember, at the beginning, you have no audience. So you have to keep that going until you build that audience, because that audience is also going to be giving you the feedback that's going to help you start moving your voice. But you need the consistency of putting it out there to change it, to move it, to solidify it, which I'll be honest, does it ever get solid? No. Why not? Because tomorrow you're a different person than you were today. If you're doing your job right, you're always evolving and changing and learning and getting new information that is changing that voice. So consistency in voice means maybe your overall picture, right? But you're adding to it, you're changing it a little bit, little by little. Hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully you're not like Jekyll and hiding and just going out there and doing a different thing every day. That's not what I mean. All right. What's the other one on the right? Content strategy. To stay consistent with your voice, you need to have that content strategy. And why am I saying content strategy? Because you need to know, what do you want to tell your clients? Here, I want you to, know how I can move you from A to B and how I get you from being unknown in that sea of sameness to standing out, to building your thought leadership. And there are a couple of ways that I do it in my business, and that's through that star transformation that I talk about in a lot of my content. And you should be doing it too. All right. Next one, L.E.G. If you don't know it by now, you're making me nervous. Write it down below if you know it. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, and write down what that acronym is now if you know it. So generate visibility. See all those lights and all those people. Oh, the crowd is going. So whether you want to be in an auditorium or what is it called? A stadium, whether you want to be speaking on stage in a stadium or an auditorium, or you just want to be standing in front of a room full of 20 people or a Zoom room of 10, it does not necessarily matter. You still need to generate visibility, and you don't need to reach Gary V levels, but you do need to do it as far and wide as you can so that you can create your thought leadership. And that's when people start coming to you. Attracting your right fit clients is what it's all about. And do you have to put yourself out there to do it? Yep. There's no way about it. Can you do it through ads? People ask me this all the time. And yes, 100%. However, I do think you need to get stabilized, right? Not solidified, but stabilized in your messaging and everything else before you want to start adding those ads. Because if your messaging isn't hitting, If you don't necessarily know, you can spend ads to find out, but if you don't have a lot of money, that's going to be a longer, harder way. All right, generate visibility. Generate visibility. So on the left, strategy, right? That's an easy one. Kind of gave it away. You need to have your visibility strategies. How are you going to get out there? So this is one of them. I have Elevate and Engage. Every single Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern, I show up and I do a show. Whether anybody shows up or not actually doesn't matter. Do I want people to show up 100%? Is it better for me if people show up 110%? However, am I going to do it whether people show up or not? Yes, I am. Why? Consistency, right? If people Google me, what do they see? I'm going to change this background so it says Elevate and Engage, but it does sort of say elevate a little bit. So maybe they'll think it's the same. But also, people will see that your credibility, right? You're showing up, you're always there. They're going to see a lot of you. So have a strategy for your visibility. How many times are you going to go live a week? How many times are you going to do reels? And when I'm saying visibility, not just your regular content where you post, but how are you going to get yourself and your brand visible? Your brand can be visible through a blog post without your picture on it. But I kind of say, put your picture on that and put your blog post, put a story about you in it or a story that includes you or something, right? Whether you're talking about your clients or a story, one of my things today, I talked about Mahi and I getting soaked in the rain. And then I related that to my business. So I want you to be able to do the same thing. All right. What about on the right? Sorry, distractions. What about on the right? Platforms. So if you are a one-man show, should you be on more than one platform? And the answer is, it depends. I always say, if you can get as omnipresent as possible, you definitely should. And if you have 8 hours a day and your business is your one and only focus business-wise, then absolutely you need to be on more than one. If you have 2 hours a day and, even if you have 2 hours a day, can you do it? And I'm going to step out here and say, yes, you can. Why? Because for example, I will post something in Instagram and it is linked to my Facebook. You could do the same thing, right? You could do the same thing. If you can hire a VA, get a VA to help you do it. All of those things are important. And you want to be able to get your stuff out there. All right. So platform selection. Where are your clients? People say nobody's on Facebook, but I disagree. Facebook's still an amazing place to find your clients. But if you don't think your clients are there, where are they? Find out and go there. All right. Hey, so we got L.E.G.A. I'm not even going to think that anybody doesn't know it by now. Everybody knows it by now. Drop it down below if you know what it is. L.E.G.A. If you know what it is, drop it below. What is the acronym? All right, A is amplify engagement. So when we first put ourselves out there, we're getting crickets. But we're not going to be able to not have crickets if we don't keep moving forward. So one step in front of the other, just keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. How can you amplify your engagement? Well, there's certain things you can do to make that happen, right? And I talked earlier about having that list of things that my clients do. If you want that, let me know. But one of the ways that you can amplify, let me get to this. One of the ways you can amplify your engagement is through community interaction. You engage with others, right? Engage with other people. See what other people are doing in your world. So I always say you should engage with your future collaborators, whether they're way up here or right here or even a little bit below. Those are your future collaborators. Engage with them. Engage with them. You never know who's looking at their stuff that might look at what you're doing. You never know if they might be your future collaborator and you might actually engage with them. That's going to amplify your engagement. They may start engaging with your content if you're engaging with their content. That's highly possible. So that's a great win-win right there, right? So community interaction. Jump on, have a list of your hot 10 every week. Whose content do you want to see? Have a list of your 10 that if you engage with theirs, they'll engage with yours and engage with their stuff every week. Have a list of your top 100. Oh my God, really? 100? Yes. Yes. Have a list. Start engaging with some people on their feeds, on their stories. Remember, if you do stories, it goes straight to their DMs. Never forget what this is all about. If you want to have a conversation, straight to the DMs is great. So if you're standing in line at the grocery store, start scrolling the stories. Who can you engage with? And over there on the right, to amplify engagement. Hold on, I'm going to go back to that for a second. So Instagram. A lot of people are saying that the biggest thing that is moving the algorithm on Instagram is actually the DMs. So if you get in people's stories, it starts a DM. You don't have to cold DM people. You can get in their stories, right? Like and comment on their stories, and that starts a DM. Little hint trick for you there. But you want to be doing that as much as possible. You want to be creating content that gets that feedback. You want people, like I could say, for example, drop daily below if you want the list that I'm talking about. Or I could say, DM the word daily. And so in Instagram, maybe it's more powerful to do that. DM the word daily, and I will send you the list. Whatever. Just try, experiment. That's what this entrepreneurship thing is. One big experiment. Don't stress yourself out. You're never failing. You are learning. All right. On the right. So amplify engagement. On the left, we've got that community interaction. On the right, engagement practices. So figure out what are the best engagement practices for you. You've heard a million and one different things, different ways that people do it. Some people will say, go onto somebody's feed, engage with their posts. The next day, engage with their stories. The third day, send them a DM. Whatever. Just figure out what your own practices are, how you want to do it, and start doing it daily, over and over and over. Your algorithm will love you for it. Don't do too much so you don't get shut down, but your algorithm will love you for it. Your bank account will love you for it, because what's going to happen is you're going to start getting appointments all of a sudden. People are going to be contacting you. You're going to get spam out the wazoo, but that's okay. That's okay. When you get too much spam and too many haters, yes, I am rocking it in my job. Why? Because you're getting more visible. You're getting more visible. So think of those. Think of the small wins, right? The small wins, and congratulate yourself for those. All right. There's always a bright side. Cultivate. L.E.G.A.C. L.E.G.A.C. Cultivate creativity. Cultivate creativity. How can you cultivate creativity? You want to think how and why. So when you're putting yourself out there, get creative. Think of new ways to do it. I've been thinking of a way that I'm going to do 2 new things in my group to help some engagement, right? But I'm getting creative. Why do I want to get creative? I want to get creative because I want engagement. That's going to help me get great engagement. So with the one on the left, builds trust. Build trust. So the more, okay, I used to be on Clubhouse, and I loved Clubhouse when I was on it. I wasn't getting the ROI from it that I've heard plenty of people get it. I wasn't. I don't know if I was doing it wrong or what, but I did love it. And I can guarantee you, I was helping people left and right. That's all I did. And why do I put this under the build trust? Because I am creative when it comes to ideas about things that I'm passionate about. So if somebody says to me, hey, I have this problem in my business, I am going to get creative and help them solve that problem. You're going to do the same thing with what you're passionate about, right? Another thing I'm passionate about is being positive. So if you ever find yourself stuck, this is not my business. If you ever find yourself stuck and you cannot find that positive side, I'm your girl. I can find the positive side in just about anything, and it's annoying. So if you don't want to get annoyed by it, don't ask for it, but I will help you figure it out. I promise you. And a lot of that is important in your business and in your building your brand, building your business, because there are a lot of learning opportunities going on, right? There are a ton of learning opportunities. All right, what's that one on the right? Demonstrating expertise. So the more you are putting yourself out there, getting creative with how to show who you are and what you're all about, the more you're going to be building your expertise, showing your expertise, and letting people understand your expertise. So get creative in how you're getting it out there. Do it in a variety of different ways. Number one, you won't get bored. Number two, your clients, your future prospects won't get bored, and you're going to be helping more and more people, because the more creative you get, more people you're going to get help, and the more you're able to show your expertise. Why? So back in the day, everybody knows that I own a language school. When you understand education, you're going to understand what I'm talking about here, and with variety. But people learn in a lot of different ways. Some people are visual, some people are auditory. Is that, I don't know if I'm using the same form of speech, but you get what I'm saying. Some people are visual, some people are auditory, some people are kinesthetic, some people need to do it. I'm a doer, right? That's me. That's how I learned to do it. It depends, but a lot of people learn in different ways. A lot of people read a book and then they listen to the audio book as they're reading the book, right? A lot of people read and say the words out loud as they're reading. You've been in a classroom of people that do that, and it's very annoying. But it's 10xing their learning, maybe. So when you can show people in a variety of ways, the exact same thing over and over and over in a variety of ways, you are 10xing their understanding of what you're doing and your expertise. I don't know if you know this, but the more that you are able to show somebody or teach somebody something, the more it's increasing your level of expertise. So if you can do it in one way, beautiful. If you can do it in 10 different ways, wow, that's an expert, right? So you're increasing your expertise by getting creative and figuring out different ways to show people your message and how they can understand it and how they can move to the next level. And another story really, really quickly. I have time. I'm doing good today. We're almost done. Another story. I was on time too today. Another story really quickly, but about the school. When you are trying to, example, if you have a client that doesn't understand something, have you ever had like a spouse or somebody I know does this? I'll say, you know what, or I don't understand, and they'll repeat the exact same words back to me. That's so annoying. If you didn't understand it the second time, repeating it again or saying it louder. Saying it louder. No, that's not what I actually meant. What I meant was, I have no idea what you just said because I didn't understand what you meant. So repeat it in a different way. When you're learning a language, and for those of you that are taking me up on the second language to get out of your comfort zone, when you are learning a language, your vocabulary may never be as large as your vocabulary is in your first language. How do you get around that? You speak around it. You speak around it. So you go to, for example, one time I went to our equivalent of the Home Depot, and I was asking for a part for underneath my sink or something. My sink, something. I don't even know that word in English. I just don't. So what I did was I described what I needed it for and what the part looked like to the person. I could have just brought the part. I can't remember why I didn't. So if you're going to say that, I don't remember. Maybe it was too big. I don't remember. But if you can do that when you're speaking a new language, right? You're still fluent. You don't have to know that word. So same thing with your clients. If you can show them through your creativity, if you can explain to them in a variety of different ways and help them to understand whatever it is that they're trying to understand, not only are you helping them, not only are you moving them to the next level, but you're increasing your own expertise and you're showing your increased expertise because now you're able to do it in a variety of ways. So creativity is a bonus, bonus, bonus. Cultivate creativity. All right. And the why, yield to feedback. That's always a good why one, right? Yield to feedback. Yield to feedback. So legacy is what we spelled out, right? Yield to feedback. What does that mean? Remember at the beginning, I was saying that you want to speak about your, get your voice out there, speak about your messaging as much as humanly possible to find your voice. At the beginning, nobody's listening, but you are listening, right? So you're kind of moving a little bit like this. You're kind of moving a little bit like this. If you're saying consistent and you're putting your voice out there, I guarantee you, you're moving like this. You're moving like this. Once you get an audience that's now listening to you, your clients, your prospective clients, your group that's now engaged and listening to you, you're going to yield to their feedback. You're also going to incorporate their feedback. Now, does this mean you get a troll or a hater and they say something that makes 0 sense for you? Are you going to listen to it? No. Remember, we can discard, discard, discard. But if it's your prospective clients and your prospects, if it's your clients, your prospective clients, your prospects, whatever, if it's your audience, then maybe, just maybe, they've got something. And more than likely, they're not bringing it to you in a negative way anyway. So your ears are already open. So listen to them. However, don't let it get you off focus. If what you do is this, and they're talking about this, right? Maybe after you get to 100K, you add this. Maybe not. You might get to, 8 figures just on this. And that is 100% possible. Look around, right? 100% possible. But let's just pretend for a second that you're like, oh, that's a really good idea. However, we're here right now. You can put that in a folder and save it till later. But a lot of times what they're doing is they're adding to this. They're like over here, right? On what you're doing. And they're talking about what you're doing, but they need a little bit more clarity. They need a little bit more, maybe they suggest something that you could turn into a PDF and you give to them. Why do you think I have that list, the daily list? Because people want it. Do you want that? Drop daily below and I'll send it over. All right. So yield to the feedback. All right. What am I talking about over there on the left? Just your personal brand. How can your brand improve, change, and stay the same all at the same time? Because that's the one where you're like this, right? You're just enhancing right where you're at. You're just maybe changing it a little bit, maybe enhancing. Maybe you've got feedback and you have decided that you're going to explain it in a better way. It could be the exact same video that you've redone 10 times because you've added a word or changed this or added this picture or whatever. It could be the exact same video 10 times. It doesn't matter. That feedback is helping you to zero that in. And that's amazing. And you really, really, really want to focus on doing that in your business. It's powerful. And then the one on the right is adaptive strategies. So adapt. You need to be able to adapt. And you want to look around. Is there something somebody else is doing that you need to bring into your business? Maybe one of your collaborators has something in their business that you really, really like, and you want to add to yours. Maybe there's some new trend out there that you need to add to what you're doing. You never know. Just saying, these are the types of things that you want to look at when we're talking about feedback. Trends can be a form of feedback as well, right? That's a lot of people saying they like that. And I'm not telling you to go out and shake your booty on TikTok. I'm not saying that kind of trend. You know, if there's a music trend that you want to follow, by all means, do it. If you want to sing and dance and you do it well, do it. Look at Brock. I mean, amazing. He cracks me up on Instagram. So if you want to do it, do it. I'm not saying you have to though, but some of those trends do work. Sometimes, you know, so on my favorite content is talking heads, and I don't add music because it's too distracting most of the time. It's an extra step, whatever, a million one reasons why. So a lot of these trending things on the platforms, I kind of don't pay attention to. Doesn't mean you shouldn't. Does not mean you shouldn't. All right, let's go over it. So personal brand mastery, 6 steps to, oh my God, don't look at it. Creating a legacy that lasts. Lay the foundation, establish your voice, generate visibility, amplify engagement, cultivate creativity, and yield to the feedback. All right, 2 more slides and we are done. Maybe 3. I could be lying. Let's check it out. Personal branding is the art of becoming knowable, likable, and trustable in your unique way. Let me know below if you are working on your personal brand. Give me a KLT if you're working on your personal brand. Hopefully everybody is working on their personal brand. All right. Next week on Elevate and Engage, 4 revolutionary tools to turn social media silence into dynamic dialogue. Dialogue is where it's at, what it's all about. We want to start those conversations. Let's get it going on. Next Thursday at 11 a.m. Remember, elevateandengage.com. Elevateandengage.com. That's where you can register. That's where you will get the reminders. That's where you can get in Zoom in the back end. Be one of the cool kids. All right. And, oh yes, you can tell I made this myself. You can tell I made this myself. So we got something new coming soon. Sunday night live. If you want to join me, drop a live. Drop live. No, don't drop live because I'll think you're just saying you're live on here. Let's say drop Sunday below. Drop Sunday below. And I'll make sure you are included when I send that out. Sunday night, we're going live. We got something fun coming up. Hope to see you there. Sunday, 7 p.m. That's Eastern. I always talk in Eastern, regardless of where I'm at. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you soon. Ciao, ciao.